I want to become a translator. What do I need to do? Hold on. Do you want to become a translator or an interpreter? Oh, I thought they were the same thing. Not really. You see, a translator works with written words. For example, when you have to translate a birth certificate or an MRI report. And an interpreter works with spoken words. For example, when you interpret between a doctor and a patient during a visit to the emergency department, or for a witness giving her testimony on the stand. Yes, I get it now. I want to become an interpreter. I'm fully bilingual in English and Spanish, so this means I'm ready to roll, right? Well, not really. Just like having 2 feet doesn't immediately make you a tap dancer, being an interpreter takes time, training, and skills. And when we talk about skills, we mean interpreting modes, in consecutive, simultaneous, and sight translation, note taking, because people can talk a lot, and note taking helps us remember. Speaking of memory, both our short term memory and our long term memory must be really good, because the short term memory comes in handy when you're interpreting, and your long term memory helps for memorizing all those terms we need. Speaking of terminology, you need to be really good at researching because you're only as good as the terms you find when you're preparing for an assignment. Cultural competence is also very important because language and culture go hand in hand. And last but not least, medical terminology. We must know medical terms in different registers, which are the levels of language. You need to know that a clavicle is also a collarbone in both languages you're working with. You need to know signs and symptoms of the most common diseases. You need to be familiarized with diagnostic tests like blood tests or an MRI. You need to know the basic steps of procedures like an endoscopy or a cardiac catheterization. It's useful to know that medications have a generic name and a brand name. For example, ibuprofen is the generic name of Advil, and that's the brand name. And if you're going to work with patients or providers located in the United States, you need to be familiar with the U.S. healthcare system. Thank you. Now I know I want to become a professional medical interpreter. Well, if you have any other questions about medical translation, interpreting, certification in the United States, or training, feel free to visit me at blueerpy.com and also click on subscribe so you can get notified of any videos I put together. I hope this one helped you.